The magic of Mrs. Wizard. Why would you turn it off? Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel, really cold edition. If this is the first time you're visiting with us, I want to extend you a very warm welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. If today is your birthday, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. One of the challenging parts in any household, especially if you have an apartment or a smaller home like we have now, is organizing the shoes as you come in from the front door. This is our front door, and our shoes kind of find a loose place to be right here. So we decided to build an organization system for shoes here that has a couple of criteria. One of them is that will allow us to open the door fully. That's important for us. What is the other criterion? That will look good.
That we allow for hanging coats on the coat rack.
Right, we have a
just
coat rack
above.
here, so that has to work that way as well, right? So we're going to show you today how to build that, how to make an organization system for your shoes that can fit behind the door or any small place, really, right?
Right.
I mean, potentially you can put it here, but we don't have enough of a width here.
Right.
It will be like 2 pairs per
We
row.
really need to get the shoes up off the floor because they're in a pile that causes problems with opening the door. It causes problems with tripping over them, and it doesn't look good as well.
Plus, the design we're going to show you is easily adaptable to any dimension you want, and ours will be reasonably small, but you can actually have a full wall for it, right? I mean,
You
it's
could.
not. It is designed to be modular and easy to make. So, we're going to show you how to do that. So we're going to start with the raw material, and we have two 1x4 by 8 boards and one 1x8 by 8 board, right? Which means that they are 3/4 in thickness, and they don't want to stay where they are. But we're going to take these 3 boards and we are going to turn them into these 3 shoe organizers that we're going to attach to our wall next. Some of the hardware we need are some black bolts. We bought some black screws because they're the only ones we could find in black, and we could not find black washers, so we bought silver washers, and we are going to paint them black to match the black look we want. And as we go along, you're going to see why we chose black. It's just a better look, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we might, if you want to ensure a better adhesion of paint, you're definitely welcome to start to try and do a very light sanding of each of the washers, so it will better adhere to the paint. You know, it's not a required step, but it's definitely something you can do. And I don't know if it is visible. I can see it with the naked eye, but he said naked.
I think you can see a difference here.
Okay. Now, do you have a? This is a little of a time-consuming process. I mean, it's not horrible, but spend a little bit of time. It will just improve the adhesion of the paint. And washers usually have sides, right? I mean, I don't know if it's visible. There is a little beveled area on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Or the back side is flat. Can you see?
Yeah.
So you want the side that is visible. There's no reason to paint both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
You only want to scuff the side that is visible. Can you get closer or not?
I'm in it.
No. What?
We need to do them.
Are those old?
We actually did 2 to me.
All right. So we're using some wax paper to protect our bench here, and we are going to spray the black paint while we're doing the rest of the thing, so the paint will be drying. And what you hear in the background, of course, these paint cans, you need to shake them very well until you hear there is a little ball inside that needs to be moving freely, and that is your indication that the paint consistency is correct. We also have one of those really handy triggers that make it much more comfortable to use the paint can. So now we're going to paint them, and then we're going to just wait for them to dry. Right, on Cure and Credit Dogs are fastening outside. This one is a bit. Okay. So now it is drying time. So we set a step block for our miter saw station because we know in our case we're going to need 28 dimension approximately, and we need to make 6 cuts, more than 6 cuts.
Yeah.
So because it is repetitive, it's all the same dimension, it makes sense to do it that way, right?
To do a stop block.
Right. So we're going to get cutting, and we're going to show you all the cut pieces when we're done. Oh, they're not.
Oh, it's a shadow. It actually is flush.
Okay, and we're going to cut the same dimension of the wider board too. We calculated the depth we need, and probably the same depth that you will need too. The other dimensions vary, right? But the depth should be around 4.5 inches, and if you can see here, we have set our stop to 4.5. And we are going to make our next cuts, and we need 2 per thing, right?
Right,
So
so
we
we'll
need
need
6.
6.
A 6. First dry fit, and as always we use a spacer. Spacers work fantastically to give you the same distance, right? Without having to measure constantly and worry about that. And here is a shoe, and the idea is it will go something like this, right? I wonder if your shoes will fall through.
That's why I think we probably need to adjust this side piece a little bit shorter so that it really holds them
So
tight.
folks, what we're doing, I mean, you're looking at it the way we look on the side, and our concern is maybe we've made this distance too wide, right?
So essentially this will be mounted on the wall. The shoes will go straight down. We're using one of the larger shoes in the household, but
Take your shoe.
there are other shoes that are smaller, and that is the concern.
Yeah, that will go through.
Yeah, that goes. So,
So that will not work
That's
for that
okay,
purpose.
because they
Right.
compress. They're soft shoes, they
Right.
can compress.
right.
So we want to cut a full inch, you think, or how much?
Okay, so we cut a 4.5, so we need more like a 3.5. Okay.
Okay. So because this is a finished kind of, not quite furniture, but will be finished in the house, we are going to do a little bit of sanding. Do you have a sanding paper on it? What size you have? That's very rough. Yeah.
some that are just plain metal.
Oh, you mean,
Yeah.
uh,
Or do you just have
I have some that are plain metal, but they're kind of short.
still longer than my fingers, right?
So we decided to Suzuki band the piece. So we're in that process. Part of the reason is we don't have to wait for paint to dry or stain to dry because it's still kind of cold outside and will take a long period of time. And the other part is because we like that finish, right?
Yeah.
We're also improvising using kitchen tanks to hold the small pieces. Otherwise we risk getting a little bit burned. Something that we do not desire to do, right? So this is always a fun process on how it immediately transforms the wood, right? And it is probably one of the fastest finishes, excluding leaving it alone, not doing anything to it. Mrs. Wizard wants this very dark, so
You can see how dark I'm in the other pieces.
yeah, so we're going a little deeper than we do usually, but
Except for my projects where I always like it dark.
yeah, Elpida is a pyromaniac. And to that end, see, I start another fire project there.
Wow.
What are you doing there, Elpida?
Burning the leaves. So here you can see we're starting to get a really nice char on there, which is what we want. And then of course you're going to remove the char once the piece cools down. And it'll be a really nice brown velvety finish.
Man, we're smoking the neighborhood.
Yeah. Look at the smoke signals over there.
Yep. Well, now they're gone because the flames are coming up. But you know, it is leaf burning season in North Carolina. We are finished with burning all our pieces, and the next step will be to take the significant deposits that this process leaves. And a couple of times I think we have shown how much
Yeah.
comes out. So you need the...
Oh, could I get a mask as well?
You're outside, you don't need the mask.
Yes, I do.
You're outside. All right, so we're going to show you a little bit of this process. It shouldn't take way too long, but you know, we don't know for sure. And you can see the deposits there, right? We should have done it on something white so it's very visible.
You can get a wet cloth.
I see it really visible.
So it is important that you do this step, right, Elpida?
Yes.
Don't forget this step.
There are some people who leave the char on, but if you're going to do that, you have to clear coat it to seal it so it doesn't come off every single time you touch it.
Well, especially if it is a piece like this that you're going to be inserting things in and out and touching it and so forth.
Inserting and touching.
Yes.
But you can see what a beautiful finish this creates.
Excellent.
And there is again the char and the cleared off.
Right. Well, actually, do you want to use one of the smaller ones, put them next to each other? A charred one and the... Oh, a big one. Sorry. So what we're trying to do is show you the difference. Be careful. That would have ended poorly.
No shit.
Sorry. So we're trying to, with risk to our personal safety, we try to show you the difference. And the one on the left here is the charred one without the clearing. This one is after we've brushed it off. And you can see the significant difference between these two. So we're going to do the rest of them and we're going to continue with the next. Again, I know we did show it to you, but here is a great example of how exactly it works.
My arm too.
Yeah. And for this process, some people tell you to use a metal brush and we disagree, right? Oh, no. We cannot have that on that tool. Sorry. We disagree, I'm sorry about the interruption. We think that using a a hard bristle on a what is called that, poly plastic,
Yeah.
it's a better option than using a metal one.
Yeah. So this is just a plain old cleaning brush we got at the dollar store.
Right, and as long as it works, we'll use it. When it stops working, we'll spend another $1. So after you finish, there will be still a very small particle, what you will call it, layer over them, right?
Yeah.
So you need to use a cloth or using disposable towels.
I would still recommend, even after wiping this again, that you might want to take like a slightly damp cloth and get any remaining particles, and then of course let them air dry just for a few minutes, because this is just a lot of debris.
I mean, you can saw what comes out on the towels.
Yeah.
So as you can see, the towel is white, and just wiping it off turns into black, right?
Right.
So it is an important step to do.
Yeah, because obviously even with the gloves, still it's getting everywhere, and every time you touch it, it'll come off on your hands if you don't clean it properly.
Okay, so we're going to do that in all the boards, and we're going to move on to the next step. So we start the assembly, and we use our spacer. If you remember, we're using this as a spacer from the bottom to our vertical piece, and we attached both vertical pieces with brads. I don't even know if they're visible or not, but
Well, you can see them on the back side, yeah.
with brads, and we're going to reinforce it with some screws once we put the top piece on.
Okay.
So we're going to set, for this, we're going to make sure that we are square and everything, right?
Yep.
Should we use a power tool for this?
I don't think so.
I think so. This takes too long. I try not to touch this. You know? Is it good? Is it touching everything?
It's good to me.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are putting the washer down after we make the hole.
And we're using a 5/8 inch drill bit in order, it's right here, in order to drill this so that the bottom piece does not blow out, because it is a very thin piece, making sure that we drill the pilot hole.
Where this came from? And this is the most delicate part of this operation, right? Especially since we've already applied the finish, and if we make a mistake now, it will not be fun. It's not completely down yet. Okay, good. You want to turn it around?
Okay.
I cannot do Lanston first.
So we're lining up the pieces using a punch to mark where the drill is going to drill, and we're also using one of the washers that we did not paint as a reference point to help us put this on center.
Okay, let's put the washer and screw it.
Okay. So we're also marking for 4 additional bolts that are going to attach this piece and each of the 3 pieces to the wall. And so at the moment we are going to drill the holes for those pieces.
So this one is ready for installation.
So let's tip it up here.
You want to try the shoe?
So it will be on the wall just like this. The shoes are gonna go in like that. That looks awesome. Yeah.
So in the same way, we're going to do 2 more, because we have a total of 3. And here again, you can have just one and make it longer, depending on your space, right? You can have more than 3. You can have a full wall if you want. I mean, the sky is the limit. So we're going to show you the finished 3 when we get back, and then how we install them on the wall. Because we're going to be putting pressure on this member, we don't want to depend just on the 3 brad nails in the back. So we're going to attach 1 screw, or you want more than 1?
Yeah, maybe 2.
We're going to attach at least 1 screw, if not 2, to make it sturdy, to make sure that it's not going to come apart,
Hold
right?
that there.
The brad nails were important to keep it aligned as we were finishing it, but now we're going to go to the next step.
Okay.
Cool. Again, this is not a visible part. This is actually the structural part. Brad nails in general are not structural. Start with your hand and I'll get you.
Makes a whole lot different if you actually go in the hole that you drilled.
Yeah, yeah.
Tends to turn out a little better.
Did you miss the hole?
Miss the hole.
We can go a little more to make it faster. No? Okay.
Okay.
Don't want them.
Well, then we're using too big of a drill.
So this first one is basically finished and ready to be mounted on the wall, right?
Yep. Because you're going with relatively thick bolts to a relatively thin piece of wood, drilling a pilot hole is important here. Otherwise, you're risking blowing your wood, right? Cracking your wood. And it still can happen. You're not 100% protected if you don't, but definitely you're going to have a crack if you don't do it, correct? Mm-hmm. And also, we didn't use glue. I would have liked to use glue, just the glue is in the house, and I didn't want to go and get it, but this is a good project to use glue. There is no problem with that, all right? So we're going to go from this, and you see the shoes all over the floor, to this Grace organization system for your shoes. Can you use it for other things? I don't know.
You could if it had a bottom.
Like you could put an umbrella if you had a bottom or something, right?
You could, yeah.
So, so here we are with some shoes, and actually those are all the shoes that used to live here, so it is plenty of space for what we need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is exactly as we envisioned with him,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Wizard.
Yep. It works. That's the thing. Getting the shoes off the floor, keeping them
Right.
organized. Yep.
And the door opens and closes. We have a little umbrella there. That's a nice little space.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, this is what we were shooting for and we achieved it, correct?
Yep.
Well, we hope you did enjoy this short episode, well, was it short? I don't know, of the Urban Homesteading channel. This was a simple project, however, a very useful one. Really, you need something to cut. This is definitely a project you can do using a handsaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ideally you have a drill. Most people have a drill. So this is a project we feel everyone can accomplish. The hardest part for us was finding the black hardware.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason that was the really difficult part, right?
And then if you're going to do the Shusugi band, then you need the torch.
A
Yeah.
torch and a brush.
You could do it with a lighter, but it will take some time.
It would take a long
Take a
time.
long time. Yeah.
But of course you can paint it. We were trying to match to this color. And I think that looks pretty similar, right?
We're a little bit grainy with our,
Yeah, because we don't have color, we don't have light.
let's see. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good match, pretty decent match.
It shows the grain very nicely. Can you put the light a little more here? Yeah. Look at how nice the grain pops out.
Mm-hmm.
It is just great. I'm really
Yeah.
happy with it. Well, what did we learn? Any lessons we have from this build?
Let your paint dry.
There is let your paint dry. We always have this problem because we try to finish the project to film it and publish it. So the little washers could take a little more time to dry. They were not completely dry when I installed them. I'm not even sure that we really need them. I think I like the bolts, but I don't even see the washers really. If you don't, I mean, we like the black hardware. You could use other hardware. You could use like the brass hardware, right? There are different options you have there. You don't have to use the black hardware if you don't want to. No cost. Of course, it will vary from application to application. As we said, this can be elongated if you have a long area, like a long window in your front way that you can put it there. But for our specific application, we only use one of the two 1x4s, and we use the 1x8, correct? 1x8?
Yep.
We were picky with our hardware, and the hardware was a little expensive,
Yeah.
the washers and the bolts. And also we bought a can of black spray. We didn't have that. And what else we bought? That's it.
That was it.
I think so.
And that came, the material we used, because we have an extra board, under $60, $55, somewhere in that range, right? Again, you couldn't buy a shoe rack, especially one that is designed to fit your space for that amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any question, let us know down in the comments.
Okay.
If you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, we'll ask that you give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, the other button works, but you have to press it twice. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know what else you might want to watch in future episodes. From Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida, and the Urban Homesteading channel, get vaccinated, put your masks on, wash your hands. So we're going to see you again in our next episode. Farewell, friends.